real starting point where AI became a regulatory, not a
Concern, yeah.
concern, but regulatory came into the radar of regulatory scheme of things is
Yeah.
actually before Gen AI.
Hmm.
I think 2018,
Yeah.
MAS was the first regulator in the world
Yeah.
which came with a principle for banks to
Yeah.
look at. We call it fair, ethical, accountable, and transparent. FEAT, FEAT.
Yeah.
The challenge was that once we put the principles out there, the banks came back with a question: how do I deploy this? How do I ensure that when the auditor comes and checks that is the outcome of the AI is fair? And that's where regulator realized that in the world of AI, just putting principles is not enough.
Yeah.
You got to demonstrate in a collaborative way that such expectation can be delivered. So MAS, for example, started something called Veritas. It's an open source program where the banks, tech companies, and regulators came together, picked up 4 use cases, and using those use cases, they developed open source code to check whether the AI being deployed can detect unfair outcome or unethical choices. That's one part. Part two, how do you create a framework for the supervisor who comes once in a year to check that this AI engines are delivering to this principle? So that's one thing going perfectly fine till Gen AI came in. Gen AI changed everything. Why? Because you don't control what is going to come out of it.
Right.
So and I gave the example to you that it's like, do you want to control the knife, or you want to control the owner of the knife and the outcome of the owner gives? Because you can give the knife to a chef and they can do the right thing. You can give a knife to him, he'll do other things. So how do how do you ensure that the governance and the expectation of regulation is around the edges, owner and the outcome? But Gen AI made it complicated because the knife is now intelligent. The owner has no control over the knife. It can do, despite my best intent, the knife can do other things. So we added. So when you look at the risk framework today, we added 7 more risk, and that risk is the black box testing, then the IP, because the AI black box never tells you where the source of the intelligence is coming from. You can get into IP infringement areas. So now we are dealing with 12 risk framework issues using AI, and that's what regulators are concerned today. And if I can, by some number today, last 12 months or 2 year, 50 plus regulation has come around the world today on, and this is across all sector, and most latest being the EU AI Act. And there they have kind of summarized in 4 key framework. They're looking at high risk use cases. They're looking at clear red lines. Don't touch AI in area which is looking at your real life data. Third, they're told that ensure that you have classified your bank's functionality based on the risk, keeping customer in mind.
Right.
And the last piece, which they've given a little bit of open space, we encourage innovation.
The
And that's
contradiction,
where
yeah.
the
Yeah.
regulators are today.
Yeah. But tell us then, where do you firstly draw the line in terms of data privacy? And in terms of drawing the lines on data privacy, and also where does the onus then really fall, on the chef or the knife?
Well, but knife, you cannot have the. I mean, you can't regulate the knife.
Yeah.
Knife is by inherently it's not good or bad. I mean, it's so technology is.
Right. But now it has a mind of its own.
Yes, indeed. And that's a good question, because now that's the reason why the regulatory coverage has gone beyond the people who are using. People are creating this knife, which is tech companies. So that's where the shift has happened.
Right.
That no more it is the user of the knife, it is the creator of the knife. That's where you see this massive market
Right.
correction of
Right.
AI valuation, that the regulator is shifting to those tools itself.
Right. Right.
So that's quite going to be interesting, because hope they can get it right.